very good evening to everyone. Can I have the presentation on, please? So, I'm going to talk about 4 very important aspects of business that we have been involved in for the last decade now. I just need the cue. Okay, here it is. Okay, so very quickly, we're a full service organization and a solutions organization that started in 1998. Our key programs are mystery audits, competition mapping. We do a lot of market research, voice of the customer, focus groups, feedback analysis. And recently we have got into the space of app-enabled consulting as well, especially from the training piece that I would be talking in detail today. We also do some back-end audits, which we do inventory and cash and other stock-related audits as well. As an organization, as I mentioned, we started in 1998. Today, we are present across 32 locations across India. We have over 2,000 full-time employees, and we have over 4,000 certified auditors. What do I mean by auditors here? These are mystery auditors. Has anyone done a mystery audit before? Anyone done a mystery audit? Okay, great. So maybe after my session is over, some of you can come and meet me where we can empanel you to become a mystery auditor, and I'll tell you what a mystery auditor is. A mystery auditor is a person who is sent to a restaurant to have food, to enjoy the drinks, but he has to follow a set checklist and to rate and rank the experience. Today in the food and beverage space, we do around 8 to 8,500 mystery shops every month, right from a fine dine to a casual dine to a quick service restaurant as well. So these are certified auditors. There's a process how you get certified into the system. I can share that offline as well. We have locations across the world as well where we are present. Our clients would be into retail and into the food and beverage space too. As I mentioned, 1998 to 2015, we have grown from a 8-member team to over 200 people in terms of our turnover from an 1.5 odd crores to 50 crores today in the group. So we're fairly large when it comes to the mystery shopping piece or the solutions piece. Now coming straight into my presentation today, I'm going to talk about four things. The bottom what we see is the food safety. That's what I'm going to start with. All of you are aware of the issues that Nestle faced with Maggi, and you would be reading of a lot of stuff that has been happening on food that we eat as consumers. It is our right to get food that is quarantined, that is clean, that is sanitized. But more importantly, from a restaurateur's perspective, what are our rights and what are our duties and what are our responsibilities? I'm going to talk about that very briefly. I'm going to talk about mystery audits. And iTrain is an app-based training technology that we have developed over the last few years. We just launched it recently, less than a year ago. And today we have more than 180 deployments of iTrain, which is the app-based training across 14 industries. So most of our clients wanted us to do these trainings, which we used to do through a classroom methodology. And we realized that, you would have only less number of trainers. So we developed a technology on how to train your manpower. And the last piece, which is igniting minds and ideas, is something that is close to my heart, where we engage the youth of India to ideate with the brand. So as we heard in one of the sessions, is the millennial, how do they influence the brand and how do they bring value? So very quickly, the evolution of food safety in India. There were those days where we used to go to the Golgappa Walas and he used to dip his hands into the water and then we used to enjoy the Golgappas. And I remember, there used to be these mosquitoes and flies flying around, and that's when we say, that is what the flavor is. But gone are those days, you have mineral water, you have people with the gloves, we see all of that. So obviously things are changing. So recently the food safety in India has been governed by the health ministry, and the food ministry has some very stringent norms that most of the restaurateurs nowadays are perplexed with. We need to know what are our rights, duties and responsibilities. There are various standards that are in place. Our role as a solutions organization is to guide the restaurateurs in terms of what do you need to do, how do you need to handle your food, and there's a full checklist that we advise our clients on. So what we do is that once in a month, once in a week, twice in a month, we go to their commissaries, to their kitchens, to their outlets, and we do something known as a spot audit to advise on how food should be handled and how should it be prepared. So there's a full checklist. I'm not going to spend too much time on the checklist, but the idea is to share what the checklist is. I think, yeah. So what is reviewed under food safety? And you'd be amazed to know it starts from the farm and it goes right into the fork. So right from procurement of raw materials, storage of raw materials, preparation of raw material, cooking, processing, storage of cooked food, preparation of cooked food, serving of cooked food, sale and display, storage of surplus, quality of the water and ice that is being used at the restaurant, utensils and equipment, cleaning and hygiene, lighting facility, garbage disposal, pest control, and facilities for personal hygiene and personal hygiene for the employees. So it's pretty detailed. So what we do out here is that there's a full checklist that we prepare. So I'm just going to run through this very quickly, but to tell you how detailed it is. And that is why it is important for all of us as restaurateurs or even as consumers to understand this. So just to give you an idea, if you're a restaurant owner and someone eats your food and falls ill, we cannot blame that where I sourced it from, it had some issues. No, you need to source the product from the authorized or the certified source. So the responsibility goes back onto you. Quality of packaging, storage of raw materials, what are the checks that are there. For example, if you see under cold storage, food is stored 6 inches off the floor or above the floor. So there's a full checklist on this. Preparation of raw materials, what are the checks and balances there, potable water, how do you need to use that, cooking and processing. So this is a full checklist that every restaurateur should be aware of and should be having an internal check on how the food is being stored, manufactured, served, surplus food and disposal. How is that being done? So we keep on doing these checks from our side in terms of advising these restaurateurs. So whenever there's a food inspector, that would be knocking on your doors once in 6 months, once in 3 months, once in a year. The idea is that all of you are prepared well before. So I would be more than happy to help you guys on the checklist. There's a quick video that I'm going to play to you. I think you would have heard of this adulteration in rice and adulteration in chili powder. Let me show exactly what it is. Can we play the video, please? So nowadays the rice that we eat, you'd be amazed, some of it is plastic rice. So when we put genuine or original or authentic rice into water, it would not float, but plastic rice would float. And if we keep boiled rice in a jar, there would be fungi or fungus growth on it. On the plastic rice, you would not see it. So nowadays, whenever we're buying rice, we look at how grainy the rice is, how good the rice is. So that is where we need to be careful because that could be plastic rice. This is chili powder where it doesn't go down if it's original. And if it's artificial chili powder, this is what happens. So this is a dye or a color that is added to some of the chili flakes. This is carcinogenic. It's cancerous. So this is what is happening with food today. This is the amount of adulteration. So in one way, it's very good that the government and the industry is now understanding the impact of the raw material that is being put in the food because we as consumers are being impacted by it. So in the US, there have been many issues on these colors and dyes and adulterants. And in India, we're trying to learn from this. So it's important that we have to be compliant from day one. From a mystery audit perspective, I'm just going to highlight the quote we were covered in the last month's Retailer magazine. So one of the key aspects from a mystery audit is that how do you structure the program? So we as a consultancy firm ensure that whenever we do a mystery audit program for your restaurant, we ensure that we make your restaurant profitable or we help you increase your footfalls and your top line. So we structure the mystery audit program in such a way that you get your reports on such a regular basis and your team is involved in looking at the reports. So all the mystery audits that we do are enabled with pictures, recordings, audio files, which are all done under a decoy element or a decoy status, but the reports are shared. So just imagine if you own a restaurant and if you are not there for the weekend, I mean, your heart would be beating and your mind would be guessing what's happening at my restaurant today or tonight or over the weekend. Now, once you have a mystery audit program in place, you can tell your staff, it doesn't, I don't need to worry because there would be a mystery auditor. Which is the mystery auditor? No one knows. So the beauty of the concept is that anyone can be a mystery auditor, and once you have the mystery audit program in your restaurant as a part of the process, the servers and the waiter always look at a customer as a mystery shopper. So the upselling, suggestive selling, all those connotations come in place to ensure a superior service. So how do we structure a mystery audit process? Just to give you a rough idea, in one of the restaurants where we do the mystery audits, if the mystery audit score, which covers service, food, ambience, hygiene, washroom, product knowledge, XYZ, if the overall score is less than 75%, the tip for the month is not distributed in totality, it is only distributed 50%. So that is where the staff hate a mystery auditor, right? But if you are being forced to give a tip of 10% as a service charge, as a customer, you would always want a good service. So now the staff is looking at everyone as a mystery auditor and he tries to up the service. So the moment he gets a score of 85% and above, the organization says, guess what? I'm going to give you 100% of the tip, and if you score 95% and above, we're going to add 10% on top of the tip amount collected. So we're trying to incentivize good performers. So this is how, as I said, you need to structure the mystery audit program. All of our auditors are enabled with an app. We have the right technology, right from keychains to pens to goggles to cameras, where everything is being recorded. No one knows who the mystery shopper is. The mystery shopper has to ensure that the checklist is being filled in a chronology, and he has a supporting for all the yeses and all the no's. So it's 100%, 100% accurate report. So the picture that tries to reflect out here, that we train our auditors Olympic style. So if you thought that mystery audit was just eating food outside, no, you need to be trained as well, because you're giving scores to people. As I said, we have an application where you need to fill in the report. So everything is auto. So in the sense, within 4 hours of an audit being done, the report is also being filled up. So that is where within 24 hours, you as an organization, you as the managing director, you as the owner of your restaurant would be getting a mystery audit report. That is why you wait for your mystery audit scores. We are spread across the entire country, more than 4,000 auditors, and the good thing is that the profile of the auditor is also a key. So we have female auditors, we have couple auditors, and we have male auditors as well. So one of the key aspects of the audit profile is that whenever we're going to a fine dine, we send the right profile of customers. We send the right profile. As against if we're going to a coffee shop, we would send a different profile of customers. So that is where we as an organization ensure that the profiling is correct of a mystery shopper. I'm just going to speed this through. There are various reports that come in place. People can access all these reports online. There's a full dashboard on this. So you get everything online. You can look at the date, the period, the month. You can choose anything. Everything is enabled online that gives you access to your reports on the click of a button. Now, coming back to the training piece, which we believe is a very important aspect, and this is a business that over the last 1 year has really grown tremendously. Once we do the mystery audits, that is where we get to know what the real issues are with the restaurant. Is it the soft skill piece? Is it the greetings, the upselling, the suggestive selling, the product knowledge? What are the training needs inputs? So through the mystery audit, what we do is the diagnosis. We get the pulse of what is going wrong at your restaurant. Once we identify that, we create an application-based training program. And this is what is customized to each restaurant here. So one of our research said that, and I liked what Hemendra also said during the session, during the previous session, that most of the brands today who are into restaurants have become training companies. Why have we become training companies? Because our people keep on leaving, the attrition is so high, and then we keep on training them again. So we keep on training people, people keep on leaving, then we keep on training. Now there are two issues why people leave. People leave, especially key performers or high performers leave a restaurant or your brand if they are not being identified within the system as assets. It's extremely critical to identify people who are good performers, and the idea is to hold these people in the organization. But if you're running a restaurant or a chain of restaurants, it's impossible to identify these good people, right? Now through the app, what happens? Employee onboarding. If you need to tell these people about the culture of the organization, you need to do continuous compliance training. Food safety standards will keep on evolving every 6 months. How do you train your people on that? Continuous product training, as you've seen, menus keep on changing, and pre and post support for soft skill. So one of the key things that we learned from a training perspective, and this came out through our research, that most of the people who go for training, within 3 to 6 days of the training, they remember only 10% of what happened in the classroom. Now what you need to keep in mind, that these people, when they were in school and college, and when they were attending their classes, they never enjoyed that learning methodology. That's why they never did so well, right? Through the app, what we do is that we create a game. So people have scores, they have points, they have quizzes, they can exchange their points against certain freebies. That is what the benefit is. And they get training videos as well. So just imagine your staff is on the metro, in the bus, on the auto, they're sitting at the outlet, they have free time. What do? They go through a test. People who perform well get incentivized and get promoted. So there's a timer, there's a questions, all this is control. That has a control panel, you can keep on changing things. I'm going to speed up for want of time, but obviously I can discuss this in detail. So nowadays we have launched this across more than 20 brands that have multiple outlets and even standalone brands. So this is how they use this tool for continuous training and for identifying assets in their organization, and more importantly on how to retain them. So these are the key highlights that are there. The last bit that I'm quickly going to share, just going to spend 30 seconds to 45 seconds. So I've told you about the FSSAI audits, I've told you about the mystery piece, I've told you about the iTrain. I think all of you restaurateurs will say all that is great, but how do I get footfalls, how do I get customers to my brand? So we started a project in 2009, which was known as Igniting Minds and Ideas. The concept here is to engage with your consumers or to engage with the youth to ideate. So just imagine if you have 100 students from different schools and colleges who work with you not on an internship project, but on an advanced ideation. The brand rub-off is amazing. So when we started this program, we had students from DPS, IIT Delhi, Sri Ram College of Commerce. Now we're in Mumbai, Pune and Bangalore. We have more than 20,000 students between the age group of 15 to 25 who ideate with the brand and also implement some of the strategies. So thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed my session. If there are any questions, I'm just here. Thanks a lot.